Hello, friends. How's it going? I am doing well. I have gotten my husband to prime this in zenithal him in red instead of white. So I'm excited. And I pulled out this guy because it's been a while, so I don't really remember. I don't really remember what I did on this guy. However, I did keep all of the colors off to one side, so I at least know what colors I used. You may also see the Warmistress sort of coming in and out because we are working on cleaning up our game room, because I don't know if you can see, but like our hobby table is just full of models, so we're gonna have to like actually sit down and find places for all this stuff. Hey, Gear Guts, how's it going? Boss man. Okay, so this is what we're doing today. Also, I joined an Age of Sigmar TTS tournament. I have played Age of Sigmar on TTS probably like a total of 3 times. So, it doesn't have the same support as 40k, but I just really wanted to see what it's going to be like playing people who are much better than me. So that's why I did this. So I can learn some stuff. Hey, Xanthiades, how's it going? Ahoy! Okay, so I do remember that the first thing that I do is I go in with Vermilion. And I do a bit of glazing. And this one I think is going to need a little bit more glazing. I just want to glaze like a little bit on the inside as well, just to pick up some of the folds that are going on in there, but not a lot. Like, I don't want to do too much, so that's where we're going to start. That order of custom knights arrived, so starting to build and convert those up. Nice. Nice. I really liked your paint that you did on the first one. Like the white with all the rust and grime and stuff looks really good. I like it. Okay. I've never had trouble finding games against people who are much better than me. In my local game group, people are not as competitive, which is really nice breath of fresh air. But I feel like I like to play both ways. Like, I like to play less competitive, and I like to play more competitive sometimes. So, and I don't want to like subject them to the more competitive because they're not into it. So I want to try my hand out. So, and I feel pretty comfortable there because it's like in a Patreon Discord. So I feel like people are usually have better manners when it's something that they have to pay for. So that's why I signed up, and some of the lists are crazy. Like, somebody has like is playing Skaven, and the list is so skewed. There's so many giant rats. And yeah, that's the kind of cool thing about playing on Tabletop Simulator, is like sometimes the lists are just crazy. Also, I don't have 2,000 points of models yet. I'm still waiting on a batch to come in. So this allows me to play 2,000 points without actually having the models, so I can practice some stuff and see if I like, because I have this idea. I want to play Scarlet Doom. Obviously, they're red. So this gives me a chance to try out playing a bunch of Bladegeist Revenants and see how we go. So I'm excited. Like, I'm nervous because I have social anxiety, so I'm nervous that people are going to be mean to me. That's always like something that my scumbag brain says to me, um but at the same time, like, I'm excited to try something new as well. So let's do it. Also, next weekend I will be going to my first Age of Sigmar tournament, like in the RL. So I am also excited for that. It's going to be really fun. That's a charity thingy. I'm bringing the ogres for that one. I'm playing Nighthaunt in the TTS tournament. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be fun to get away, and I like to stay in hotels by myself sometimes because it's just like super relaxing and I can get caught up on my reading and yeah, so I'm excited. That's next weekend. Next weekend? Not this weekend. Next weekend. Matt E is making a Storm Fiend heavy list for his channel. He calls them the gym rats. That's funny. Yeah, so my list is like just a bunch of Bladegeist Revenants because Scarlet Doom allows them to do mortal wounds when they charge in. And yeah, so I'm gonna try it out. I've been playing Emerald Host because it seems like it's maybe like a little bit easier to do mortal wounds, but I don't know. Having the Bladegeist be battle line is pretty cool. So we'll see how it goes. I have no idea like what is quote meta in Age of Sigmar. I just like want to try this stuff. So yeah. But yeah, like one of the best players in Canada is gonna be in this TTS thing. So if we get paired up, like I'm sure I'll learn a lot from him. Which I'm looking forward to. Are you using spooky crossbows? No. No crossbows for me. No shooting, actually. I'll be bringing Lady Olander, so she's got a bit of shooting. She's got like a 12-inch. It's not really shooting, but it's kinda. And yeah, I actually don't think that the crossbow guys do enough damage to really warrant taking them, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Happy Monday, Pezber. How's it going? But yeah, the crossbows don't really fit into what I want to do with this list. Like, I want the list to be super mobile. I just really want it. Yeah, I just want like a super mobile list where I can just like zip around the board in multiple different ways and yeah. Will it work? I don't know. I honestly haven't played against enough factions to really know, if that makes sense. To really know what's good, but I think I know like what my play style is, so that's what I focused on when I made this list. So I posted a picture of the Alpha Legion duder that I did on the stream last week. And I always find it so funny how many dudes like to comment on my nails. And I don't know if it's like a dude thing, because like in general, women don't really make that many comments. But if it's a dude thing or if it's like an artist thing, you know, because like on Instagram, most of the people who follow me are going to be into their little painting duders, you know, so they are artists. But yeah, I never really expected that I'd get that many comments on them. It's really funny to me. And I think for the tournament, I'm gonna get my nails done to match my army. So, even though it's like summertime, I think I'm gonna go with like icy blues and stuff like that to match my Beastclaw Raiders. I don't know. Have you guys ever? Well, I don't know if you go to a lot of events or anything, but have you ever like dressed, like cosplayed your army or anything like that? If I was ever gonna cosplay an army, it would definitely be the ogres because they're like my spirit animal. But I hear that Age of Sigmar is like a bit more like fun and fluffy. Because sometimes people get annoyed at you if you play orcs and you actually WoW. But I don't know. I've heard that like the Age of Sigmar crowd is like a little bit more into that sort of thing. So this tournament is in Vancouver. And I bought my hotel, but I can't stay like in actual Vancouver because it's just too expensive. So I'm staying like way the heck out, like an hour out, in like a really quiet little area. But I'm actually kind of excited about it because like too much noise and stuff kind of gets to me. So hopefully they have a pool there or at least a hot tub. I probably could for my Templar force, but that would be difficult to play. Yeah, I don't know if you could actually play in your Black Templar cosplay there, Kyle. I could stop by the deli on the way and get some ham to make it Nightlord's cosplay. Ooh. Why are the dogs chasing that man everywhere? That's so funny. So fitting. Why are Nightlords so messed up? Like, I mean, I get it. I get that they're messed up, but can somebody enlighten me on in the lore? Like, why are they so brutal? What's their shtick? Obviously, it's got to be something to do with their Primarch. But like, I literally know nothing about the Nightlords yet. I haven't gotten to them in any of the books that I've read, so someone enlighten me. Tell me the story. Oh my god, just like so much ham flapping around as you walk everywhere. So funny. So this vermilion color is actually really nice to glaze with because it's kind of a transparent medium a bit. Like, it's not as opaque as other paints, so it's kind of easier to do this than with some other paints. This is also my first model that has some witchfire in it. I don't know if that's what it's called. That's what I'm calling it. Because there's lots of candles and lanterns and stuff in the Nighthaunt army. And I'm not entirely sure how I want to paint it, but I'm kind of thinking maybe using Warlord Purple for it. That's the first color I'm going to try, and then I'll kind of see if that doesn't work, then I might try a turquoise, but I don't want it to look like my Custodes, which are also red and turquoise. Running from a pack of dogs having Dominus Nox. They are Night Stalkers. They use terror to fight wars. It's more the home planet than the Primarch. Okay, interesting. Thanks to their Primarch, they had a different style of combat, resulting in considerably fewer casualties when they were taking... Okay, okay. Also led to a slower progress as each world needed extra attention. After they went traitor, the centuries of terror tactics ruling with fear was amplified. Okay. Kurz was like Batman, but brutally murdered people. Oh! Okay. As they lost the reason why they were using terror tactics, to avoid the loss of life. Okay, interesting. Well, thank you for enlightening me. I appreciate it. Terror tactics to save lives. Interesting. That's a really interesting concept to me. I don't know if, like, saving lives is worth it if you make everybody just live with, like, terrible fear and anxiety all the time. Like, you know, psychological damage is still damage. Hey Tom, how's it going? Nostromo is like an entire planet of battle royale. Kurz tried to straighten things out in an extremely brutal way, but once he left the planet, they just started sending him the worst of the worst. Oh. Isn't Nostromo the name of the ship in Event Horizon? Is it Event Horizon or is it Prometheus? One of those scary, like, sci-fi movies, I'm pretty sure. Nostromo was their ship. Oh, it was Aliens, wasn't it? Is it, am I thinking the right one? Is that it? I could just be making things up. I'm so sure. Like one of those Ridley Scott movies. Rather than actually dealing with the Nightless... Ah, I see. I'm sure that all these planets have great mental health care. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that they do. It's a top priority in the grim, dark future, you know? Top priority. Just to get them off-world, Kurz kind of lost interest in leading the Legion, and the Bastard just kind of took over as their Legion splintered. Oh, interesting. Oh, it was the first one. Ah, thank you, Tom. Has anybody played the Aliens role-playing game? Because I've heard it's really good, but... And it's like up my alley because I like to run games that are really scary. I don't know why, but it's my thing. And however, I like systems that are not super crunchy. I'm painting Chaos Knights because I'm a sucker for army boxes. Like to start collecting boxes. Nostromo's the ship, but yeah. Cool. But yeah, so... I don't know, like maybe I should run an Aliens game. I should look into it. I think we actually own the book, I just haven't looked into it. Because I can't seem to find anybody who wants to play my Morkborg game in town here, but it could just because they don't know what Morkborg is, right? Like if I said I have a D&D game that I'm planning, and then I just like bust out the different rules, like maybe I could get people to play it. Same kind of like subject matter, just darker. Maybe. It's also a book by Joseph Conrad, is it? Huh. I wonder if it's something from, like, mythology. If we've seen the name in several places. Like, it must be, right? Okay, to the Google machine. Nostromo. Novel. Film. South American Republic of Costaguana. I don't care about how... Okay, plot summary. Come on, it's gotta be like... film, TV, or theatrical after references in other works. Huh. Is it literally just a made-up word? Huh. Okay then. It's just from the book. Interesting. Joseph Conrad, Conrad Kurz, Colonel Kurtz, and Heart of Darkness, also by Joseph Conrad. Oh, interesting. Hey, Green Blood Crusade, how's it going? New Chaos Knight box that released with Codex cards and knights. Found one in store. So that's not a cheap box. Just saying. It's an expensive one. So now I'm building an army I didn't plan on owning. As long as it keeps you out of trouble, though, Stonehorn. There's just kind of a Joseph Conrad theme with the Night Lords. So what's like Joseph Conrad? He's just like, he literally just talks about like the darkness in men's hearts. All words are made up words. Thank you, Kyle. Thanks for that. You're a made up word. You know what I meant, Kyle. You don't gotta be that way. So then the Night Lords are just like a character study in like how awful humans can be. I'm trying new music today as well. I normally do like a cyberpunk inspired list, but I was like, I'm not feeling it today. I really just want to listen to metal, but most stuff that I like is Century Media, and you will for sure get a copyright strike if you play that stuff. That record company loves sending out copyright strikes. But this like happy, weird drum and bass-esque stuff we'll have to just do. We'll have to do for now. My Nighthaunt Drowner guy came in today. Bodie McBoatface! I played him for the first time on Saturday. And he did good. He's like a little bit faster than the rest of the army, so he can like keep up real nice. The ability to do extra attacks when you charge is kind of cool. He also just looks awesome. So yeah, I really liked him. I had fun. Is he competitive? I don't know, but he looks rad. So also his ability to just like teleport around, amazing. Amazing. And he could take a unit with him, which is pretty cool. So in my TTS tournament, I am gonna bring Bodie McBoatface. I feel like this Zenithal wasn't as nice as the last one, so this is taking a little bit more work. But I think that it'll be worth it. This guy is so good in the new book too. So I want him to look nice, because I'm probably going to bring him in like all of my lists. As far as I know, it's kind of built out from Kurz's death. Okay. Minority Report mixed with Batman with no morals. Well, Batman with no morals would be horrifying. This is the basis of Apocalypse Now. Right. I've seen it. I've seen Apocalypse Now. I have the Soul Wars box set somewhere in the pile. That's funny. It's really hard to like paint the inside of Buddy's robes, so I'm not gonna do too much. Just gonna, I mean, robe. It's a bed sheet. Cruel Boys. Cruel Boys are neat. I really like their aesthetic. My husband painted his bright yellow, and they look amazing. I love seeing them on the table, because they look great. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of the pink in. We'll start doing some highlights. So that's this Old Rose, my model color. I have so many piles, so I'm going back to the 90s. I don't think we have any like box sets from that's that old. I don't know. We're going to be going through our stuff today, so I'm sure we'll find some goodies. I'm working on getting my pool ready, so no painting for me right now. Ooh. Pool sounds fun. I'm going to use either contrast or speed paints for them. Yeah, Ryan used he used his contrast paints on them. And the contrast yellow looks awesome. Okay, that was way too much pink, methinks, to start. We'll add a little bit more of this vermilion. Yeah, that's a lot. Do you all mix your colors, or are you like straight out of the bottle? I always say like, oh, I'm not gonna mix my colors this time, and then like what happens? Of course, I mix my colors. So let's try this. See, that I think is too pink. Let's wait till it dries. This is my rule. I have to wait till it dries, because sometimes they get darker when they dry, so. Oh yeah, actually I don't think that's gonna be too bad. Why is this not like auto-focusing, by the way? Oh, let me see here. Properties. Video. No, autofocus is on. Weird. Weird. Hello, Baron Von Beagle. I do enjoy painting poolside, though. I never need to change my brush water. Ooh, too bad the chlorine would, like, actually do stuff to your, like, bad stuff to your bristles. They mix often. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt when, like, you are painting an army and you gotta, like, mix all your colors, but I guess I could just go ahead and mix like a bunch of the colors into bottles. It's probably what I should do. I should buy some bottles. Yeah, I should. You know, I think I'm gonna look for that online. Just buy some bottles, and then I can mix these colors so that I have them on hand. Because the other thing too is like for these guys, I started working on these guys. I wanted to practice like dark skin. How come this is not autofocusing? This is annoying. And so I mixed like the highlight colors, and then I had to finish them last night, which meant I stayed up super late because like you can't really save paint very well in a wet palette. It just like depends on the brand, but some brands are super hydrophilic. So I had to just like push through last night and finish that step. Like sometimes I just want to go to bed. I use empty bottles enough for everything I might want in that color. Yeah, I think I might have to do that. I always add yellow to my green for my orc skin, and it's a little different each time. Yeah, I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind if they're different. Like, my ogres, for example, some of them, like, they're gonna have a variety of different skin tones, so that's fine. It doesn't really bother me. But, like, this red, for instance, I kind of want it to be the same. We'll see what this looks like. If I manage to, like, get a decent match the first time, then maybe I won't worry about it. I mix about half a bottle at a time. Well, that's a lot. Explains why you were still up when I was getting up. Yes, I was up late painting. Yep. I was thinking about doing... So I've been watching a lot of... Like I guess, small creator documentaries on YouTube. Like, just independent creators making documentaries. And I don't... It's, like, really inspired me to do maybe something different in wargaming content, so... I might try my hand at a documentary. See how it goes. I feel like it would be a lot of work, though. I just have this idea of one that I want to do. Just getting to tune in for a minute. Wanted to say you're awesome. Oh, thanks, Steve. You're awesome as well. Thank you so much for stopping in. It really means a lot to me. And if you can't stay long, then I hope that you have a fabulous day and happy Monday. If I may ask, what is your favorite 40k army? Mine is personally the Imperial Guard. I like my armies for different things, I would say. So my favorite to play is Imperial Guard. My favorite for lore is Space Wolves. My favorite for like hobby and painting is orcs. And my custodians, I would say, like, I like that army because it, like, I guess I think I learned, like, I grew as a painter with that army. I learned valuable lessons in terms of hobby with that. So I like them all for different things, I guess. That's the TLDR. It's a good day, a busy day. I do like staying busy as well. I also airbrush a lot. I just find it easier. I can't base coat with a brush. I'd go crazy. It takes too much time slathering one color and I get impatient. Oh, it's like my Zen time is base coating. Orcs! Greenbloods! Yeah. I enjoy my orcs quite a bit. I like... So all of my orcs are Gear Guts orcs. If he's still in the chat, hello Kyle. You'll also see that there's like a little discount code that pops up from time to time for you. So if you want to buy your own Gear Guts orcs, make sure to use that. Get yourself a small discount. And I just like how characterful they are. And there's not like too much doodads and thingamajigs on them. To me, it's just like just the right amount of doodads and thingamajigs. And I like that they're big. I feel like, so I read the first 3 books in the War of the Beast series, and so after that I was like, man, orcs should be scary. Like, they should be big. Like, you should be terrified when you see them coming. And I feel like Gear Guts orcs are that way. Ended up with a lot of knife ears in the pile. Love the look of them. That's cool. It's funny. For a while there, about 10 years ago when I was first getting into the hobby, if you were a woman and you were wanting to get into the hobby, most dudes would be like, oh, you want to play Eldar or Tyranids. Those are the girl armies. And I was like, what? Like, there's girl armies and boy armies? That's kind of BS. And yeah, those ones just never really... They never really stood out to me. Like, I mean, I like bugs, but I couldn't really... I don't know. They didn't, like, speak to me on the table. And never really been a fan of Eldar. I think they're just too pretty for me, and I don't like identify with them in any way, shape, or form. But they are definitely cool. Two wounds for boys for sure. Yeah. I feel like though if they got 2 wounds, they'd have to be modeled bigger. And yeah, I don't know what it is about orcs, but I enjoy playing Crusade with them, but regular GT pack missions, I don't have as much fun with orcs as I do my other armies. I mean, honestly, I don't really have that much fun playing 40k these days, period, but yeah, I would just rather play like Crusade with orcs forever. I find it's great to paint. Most of my purchases are for painting, not playing. That's fair enough. That's the cool thing about the hobby, is that like there's something for everybody. You don't have to just paint, you don't have to just play, you can not do either of those. You can just enjoy the books. Like, I like that there's so much going on. Orcs are scary to the guard, but all the other overpowered armies not so much. Yeah. I mean, there's people doing all right with Goff's lists right now, which is pretty cool. So 2 wounds is my idea. They cost too much for 1 wound. 6+ save boys are useless in 9th, and that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems with 9th books right now, in my opinion. Don't come at me with the pitchforks. And I'm not even, like, I don't even expect the game to be balanced ever. It would just, I don't know. It would have been nice if we had indexes, or even if they would have brought out the cards a little bit sooner. Because like, I've lost all interest in playing 40k right now. Like, when I was playing Custodes, people came to the table and they were just like super dejected, and we hadn't even set up yet, and I was playing like a Highlander style list that was not meta at all. And yeah, that's just not fun for me. So that's a little bit why I'm on a 40k break right now. Orcs are the D&D goblins of the setting, and I think that's why I collect them. Because they're like comic relief, or like, I don't really understand the reference to D&D goblins. -1 AP on Choppas was awesome until then you changed to power armor. Yeah. Honestly, like, that it's the same. Is the same with guard, right? So all of the buffs that they give to guard are like offensive buffs, and that's not what guard need to be able to play the game, right? Like they need to be able to stay, or they need to be able to hold objectives with less. They basically, that's where they need help. So when everybody else that they could do okay against were getting toughness buffs, and they were getting, and guard were getting like damage buffs, it wasn't addressing the problem. Kind of made me feel like GW had no idea why guard were failing so bad, and it kind of makes me feel like I don't have hope for the new codex. I feel like the new codex is either going to be trash, or it's going to be so overpowered that nobody's going to want to play against it again. So hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they know exactly why Garter's struggling. But this is all doom and gloom. Let's talk about Age of Sigmar, because it's really fun. There's a power armor buff? Yeah, so a lot of power armor, including sisters, they basically just like ignore -1 AP. If you want to look it up, Tom, it's called Armor of Contempt. It came out on the balance data slate. That looks pretty close, honestly. I wish it would focus. Why isn't it, like, focusing? Same for Astartes chainswords, too, though. I actually dislike the comic relief. Wish they were viewed more seriously sometimes. To define it, I like being the ambient bad guy for every D&D party has to fight the Den of Goblins. Oh, okay, gotcha. Armor of Contempt, it lowers AP by 1. It doesn't lower AP by 1. Does it? I thought they just ignored -1. But I don't know. I'm not playing. I'm not playing 40k, so I've honestly kind of like tuned out of all of it because it just is depressing. So it's just kind of depressing. Okay, so I just added a bit more pink into here so I can do some edge highlighting. I'm just going to do a little test here. And then I'm going to let it dry. I like to let it dry before I make the decision if I need to add more color to it or not. I think I do want a little bit more pink. It worsens AP. Solid. Right? So, and then we were talking about it on one of the live streams, and they're like, man, Guard got a buff. Why is their win rate going down? And I was like, because all of the factions that they historically did really well against got a better buff than what they have. But everybody else thought it was because people who don't normally play Guard were bringing them out to try them, and I don't think that that's the case, personally. Like, who were we, like, pretty good against? Like, usually we could do pretty good against Chaos Space Marines, but they got the buff they needed that basically means we can't do anything to them. You aren't playing 40k, but your last video was about 40k. No, it wasn't. Go. Go on. Sorry. Somebody has to be kicked out of this room. Go on. Go. The video actually wasn't about 40k. It was about wargaming in general. But no, I'm not playing 40k. I'm playing Age of Sigmar right now. And that feels like maybe it's not meant to sound that way, but that felt really like confrontational, Flannel Man. Like, I don't know what your intention was with that. I like AOS, but the idea it is more balanced. No, it's not balanced. Vince as in, like, Pleasant Kenobi? No, Green Blood Crusade, it's not balanced. It is more balanced, but there is still some janky stuff. But the game itself, like the rules itself, never make it feel like it's hopeless before you reach the table. And that's what I like. Like, you always feel like you can do something. Like, you can at least make it close, you know? That's what I like. And there's a crazy 300 conscript. Yeah, no, I don't. Like, nobody has won anything with that list. The 300 conscript list. I've heard that the best that it's done is 3 wins, 2 losses. If I am wrong, please correct me, but I would also like to see where it did well. Like, which tournaments it's done well at. Because I'd want to check out and see what their matches were. If that makes sense. I've never restricted to just one game. I just don't have the brain power to really focus on learning more than one game at one time. Especially Games Workshop games, because they tend to be very complicated. Yeah, they tend to be extremely complicated. And yeah, I'm just, like, not the smartest cookie in the toolbox, you know? So, I need to really focus in on what I want to learn how to play. So, I'm learning Age of Sigmar right now, and I'm also working on learning the basics of Necromunda, and I don't have room in my brain for anything else. I wish I was one of those, like, gifted smart people who could just, like, read a rule and remember it, and I just can't do it. And everybody else is like, oh, learning wargames is really easy, and then that makes me feel more stupid. So I tried talking about it, like, in my content, and it just made me feel really stupid. So yeah, I'm pretty open about how difficult I find it is to learn how to play these games. But I don't want to make any more content about it. Because the comment section's not like exactly nice. Vince Venturella. Oh, I didn't know that he was, like, big into actually playing the different games. I thought he was just mainly an amazing painter. Oops. When it comes to 40k, there are a lot of guerrilla tactics. Yeah, that's a quote from my guest. Did you watch the video? I only really learn by doing than reading. I need to do everything. So I need to read it and then rewrite it in my own words. And then anything that I don't understand still, I need to go find help, or I need to draw pictures, or I need to set up models to see what's actually going on. It's a process for me. And then I need to do and then reevaluate and rewrite and reread and yeah. And yeah, 40k for me is the worst because there's all those stratagems, there's all those extra rules, and it's a game of like who can remember all that stuff the best, and for me that's not ever going to be me. Like I was studying 5 hours a week to play one game. And I was like, this isn't a game anymore. It's not a game anymore. This is work. And I'm not enjoying it. Lord Croak dominating a battlefield was fun at first. I myself don't advocate one system over another. I always just like the whole... Oh, Greenblood, I was not doing that. I was not doing that. I'm saying it's not for me. 40k is not for me. And in fact, I don't even want to be talking about this anymore because I do feel like I feel very sad that I've had to let 40k go, but I've had to do it, right? And so it is a bit doom and gloom for me. It is a bit sad. But here we are. Here we are. He does an AOS show every Wednesday, Warhammer Weekly. It's a highlight of my week. Oh, interesting. It's not balanced, and anybody who tells you that AOS is balanced, I don't know why they would say that. It's not balanced. However, it is way more balanced than 40k. 40k is getting better with the balance updates, but Age of Sigmar still is more balanced, but that doesn't mean it is balanced, if you know what I mean. Is the daddy of AOS? Is he though? Like, does he do this on YouTube or is it on Twitch? I know he does a lot of stuff on Twitch and I don't watch Twitch anymore. Cause like, in my opinion, AOS coach is like the AOS guy. Yes, Apocalypse is a great rule set. It was a general statement. Oh, okay. About the Warhammer versus AOS debate, not your comments. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I don't want to poo-poo on anybody else's parade. Like, if you love 40k, go at it. It's just, in my experience, either my opponent feels like they can't do anything at the table, or I feel like I can't do anything at the table. And, it makes me very sad. Like, I just found that I was extremely sad at the table and after playing games, and I was just like, this is not what I signed up for. And playing Age of Sigmar, it's just, I don't get those bad feels. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time highlighting this side. Having issues. I think it's because I'm upset now. That's why. Maybe if I turn it this way. I don't see how that could possibly make it easier to highlight, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try, y'all. Yeah, okay, it's a little easier. Is that a Guardian of Souls? Yes. Yes, it is. I got him in trade. All of my Nighthaunt except Lady Olander and the boat guy and my spirit hosts I got in trade. So a lot of the models that I'm working with, I really like. I'm making lists just based off what I have. And like coincidentally, I think I probably got some of the better stuff. I do want a black coach though. Maybe not because it's like particularly good, because it's kind of expensive, but yeah, it just looks so cool. Nope. So I'm noticing here that it's a little bit too bright of a highlight, so I'm gonna go back in and tone it down with a bit of a glaze of that original vermilion and see if I can blend out this here. Let's see if I can fix this. No. More vermilion. I have armies on the go. Lizards, dwarfs, stormcasts, soulblight, chaos. I have to focus on one day. I like to focus. Yeah, see, this looks better. I like to have focuses. Like, I like to go between 2 or 3 different armies at a time, because sometimes painting the same color like over and over again, I just find it becomes too much of a grind, and you kind of need something to reset. So I think going between my ogres right now and the Nighthaunt as like main things to paint, and then I can throw other things in from here from time to time. So I could do my orcs, I could do Alpha Legion, I could do whatever, just sort of like offset that. I don't know, maybe there are people who can like just paint the same thing over and over and over again. I'm not one of them. Your silence confirms the truth. Of what? Did I miss something? Flannel Man, if you're just being like if you just want to poke me, like, that's fine. You know, I feel like you're a little entitled. That's what I'm feeling. Maybe you're not, and maybe I'm misreading your words, but it feels very confrontational right now, and I don't like it. So if that is the case and you're being confrontational, I would ask that you leave. If you're not being confrontational, then stay and maybe re-ask your question, because I maybe am not understanding. He's a troll. Could be. You know, I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, I also do believe in free speech, but, like, free speech for a purpose. Trolling is kind of not for a purpose other than upsetting people, and I don't like that. But, like, if you have an issue with me, out with it. Just say it, and then we can all just move along. Okay, well, I didn't see that message before it was deleted. If you want to expand your AOS sphere, I'd honestly reach out to Vince. He's had AOS coach on his and Tom's show. Who's Tom? I don't know these people. Would be rad to see you on sometime. Oh, I don't ask to be on other people's stuff. I don't. No. Camp K, I don't ask. No. That makes me feel really uncomfortable, actually, to be like, hey, I should be on your show. Because I actually don't like it when people do that to me. Because I don't know what their creative process is in their content. And, like, for me, when people are like, I should be on your show, that's not how I do it. I get an idea, and then I find the right person for it. So, I don't like to push myself on others. Thank you, Green Blood Crusade. That really means a lot to me. Tom is his co-host. Okay. Cool. I don't know who that is. People forget that all of this is just an expression of their own hobby, that regardless of what you do with your hobby, it does not affect them, and vice versa. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so, real talk, I've been avoiding social media a lot lately. Like, I still have my Instagram account and all of that, but I used to make myself a lot more available for people. And I don't do that anymore because I felt like it was getting to the point, like, and I was starting to get some really weird messages from people, like, oh, I guess you're too busy for me and stuff. And I think that, like, I tried really hard to make myself available for all those people, and in the end, my real life was starting to suffer because of it. And a few other content creators talked to me about it, and, like, we feel like, actually, I haven't heard this from male content creators, but female content creators really do feel like people feel entitled to their time, and I was starting to feel that way too, so I've sort of stepped back, and I only answer messages like 2 or 3 times a day. I turned off all notifications, and I've been spending more time with my family. I've been exercising more. I've been getting outside, and, like, in general, I feel a lot better. But yes, I do feel like there's a lot of pressure to, like, live up to expectations, or, like, to do things a certain way. Like, I had a major identity crisis when I decided to step away from Warhammer 40k. And I actually got started with Age of Sigmar. It's so funny. But, so, like, Age of Sigmar was my first game. When I started my account, my Instagram account, which is, like, my main account, it was Age of Sigmar. was like so long ago that it's like buried in the depths of my posts. And yeah, so I had this like major identity crisis. It was really hard for me to continue making content because, you know, people want to talk to me about 40k and I'm sort of known for 40k and I'm just really not liking 40k. And so actually, the last episode of Be Nice Roll Dice, I recorded that in the midst of that identity crisis. So yeah, I was having a really hard time and I didn't think it was going to be worth it to even keep making content anymore because I'm not playing 40k, even though I'm playing other things. I just didn't think anybody would really understand. And so, like, I guess seeing Flannel Man being so, like, kind of confrontational about whether I do or do not play 40k, it feels like maybe those feelings I had were correct. Maybe people won't understand. But yeah, it's all like very confusing. I don't know if you've ever had an identity crisis before, but it's very like surreal and you kind of like walk around in a brain fog. And Kyle Gearguts, my boss, was so kind as to get me some therapy, which really, really helped. And it's good for me to sort of talk about this with you all right now because it's hard to talk about it, and like I try to be really open and honest about what I'm feeling, right? Like Flannel Man, I'm feeling like you are being very confrontational with me right now. But at the same time, like I think I very much could be on the spectrum. I find people really hard to read sometimes. So I just like to ask outright. Like, is this the case? Is how I'm interpreting this, is this correct or is this not correct? So, yeah. I decided to come back and just make content at, like, whatever inspired me. That's what I wanted to make for content. And yeah. I don't know. It's all very confusing, and being a content creator can be really hard sometimes, especially when you're dealing with imposter syndrome and you look a lot different than everybody else that's in your field. And right now there's quite a bit of animosity towards female content creators on Instagram. It's just a very weird time right now. No need to yuck in other people's yum when it's literally here to be an escape and a hobby. Yes. We need more doggo posts. I post a doggo post almost every day. When we go for a walk, or we sit in the park, or he's just snuggling me on the couch, well, yeah, we do doggo posts. It must be very challenging with being a woman in the space. A lot of guys are creepy when you put a keyboard in the mix. There are definitely some times where it gets a little bit creepy, and I've never experienced that in person, thank goodness, because I'm not even convinced that the people who make those comments ever leave their homes, right? Because I just don't see how one could be like a functioning member of society when you feel like you could talk that way to strangers. And I know I don't get it as much as other women around here, so thank goodness for that. I do think that's because I tend to be really aware of like the kind of image that I'm portraying. Like, I try really hard not to not to show off my body. I try really hard to just not be very flamboyant in like what I wear and stuff. I try to just be very I don't know. I just try to make it all about what I'm saying instead of like what I'm like doing or whatever. But yeah, it does. It gets tiring and it gets a little bit creepy sometimes, for sure. Okay, what do we think of that red? Does that match? I think it matches. I'm gonna leave the inside a bit darker. Let's flip it. Blah. I think that that's a pretty good match. I'm gonna throw a base coat of the metallic down on his like cowl and his helmet, and then I don't know, like I'll probably do the sword blade silver, but I think I'm gonna do everything else like that kind of dark bronze metallic. With the skill I see you paint with the game system doesn't matter to me. I like watching your art. It could be smart. It would be interesting to see the process. Oh, thank you, Green Blood. I really appreciate that. I just try and have fun with my painting. I don't try to like win awards. I'm not gonna win awards, but you know, I do try to have fun with it. It's pretty close. Yeah, like, I don't think it's absolutely perfect, but I think once I throw the blue on, I think that it'll look close enough. I grew up in your city. I was sick of the real men carry knives, BS, and big trucks. Hope is better nowadays. It's a little bit better, I think. Not saying we are better down here, but much less of it here. I'm working on Nighthaunt 2. Very spindly and delicate. Yeah, this one isn't even that bad. Like, this one has a really good connection on the base, but, like, painting this guy is, like, super boingy. So this one's actually kind of a treat, because it's not so boingy. Hello, Orpheus B. How's it going? I just got paint all over my face. Y'all. The heck? Okay, well, I'll have to check that later. It doesn't actually show up in the camera, I don't think, so that's cool. Okay, let's throw this metallic base coat on. I think I'm just going to do this part here as wrought iron, so I'm not going to throw any of this metallic on it. And I don't have to be too careful because the hands are going to be, they're going to be painted an opaque blue. So we can get this metallic on the hands. It's not a big deal. Be careful around his bedsheet tail here. As I just get bronze all over it. Good job, Tanya. There we go. And I can fix that later. If I left any on there. I'm getting ready to buy all the stuff I need to dip into 40k. Ooh, what did you decide for an army? Most of the Nighthaunt are like pogo sticks. Yes, I built one out of the Soul Wars box and was like, nope. Yeah, they are very boingy. They are like, they're like a barrel full of monkeys. Like, I'm playing Blade Geists, and they just cling to one another. They're like gene stealers. Like, moving them around the table is so difficult, because they just cling to one another. So what do you think about, like, pink with this? Like, do you think pink Witchfire would be good? Or should I do like a I don't have a fluorescent. Maybe I should look and see if I can find a fluorescent pink at the game store today. Because I have some fluoro colors that I use for my orcs. And they have to be glazed, but that was what I was going to do with them anyway. Maybe a fluoro pink would be better than Warlord purple. If need any of the stuff out of the box, I can drop it with Ryan next time I am up. Honestly, like, I'm getting a bunch more stuff in trade, and I have no idea what is in that batch of stuff. So normally I would say yes, but I don't have that stuff in my hand yet, so I'm gonna hold off and say maybe? Maybe. It's going to be Necrons. Nice. I decided on a sandstone-esque base with turquoise highlights. Beautiful. And orange glowy stuff. Ooh, turquoise and orange is one of my favorite color combinations. That's going to be gorgeous. Yeah, I think I'm going to go down to the game store after this, and I'm going to go look for a fluorescent pink. That's what I think. Because, like, looking at Warlord purple, I just don't think it's going to be bright enough. Because I want it to look like glowing magical fire. And I just don't want it to be green. That's like the only fluoro colors I have are green and yellow, and that just doesn't seem like it's the right call for this. She's going to be on the Stormcast bandwagon when my post arrives there. I will definitely be painting up some Stormcast. I'll probably do it on stream, actually. Because I have this really fun scheme that I painted on my Maw Pot. There's a Stormcast, like there's Stormcast armor in the detritus pile. So it'll be gold and burgundy. And I think that'll be really fun. Okay, I just like to make sure that I didn't miss any spots. So I just like to take like another once over. I'm basing my wife's crons as we speak. Ooh, how are you basing them? I love a good base. I'm super excited for it, though not so much the price tag. Is there anything that you can get secondhand? Like, a lot of the stuff from Indomitus you can probably find secondhand. Because there was just so much of it. And, like, I'm all about, like, I was always like, oh, I'm never going to get secondhand models because, like, I don't know how the people put it together or whatever. And that has changed this year. With the price increases, I'm like, secondhand models, here we come. The only thing is, like, sometimes you do have to tear them down to rebuild them. Like, I was gifted a bunch of ogres, and they're not put together very well, which is understandable. I'll show you. Because they don't fit together particularly well. Which one is it? Like, the shoulders just don't fit together very well. This one. So this right here is like model glue that was just sort of like shoved in there just because these don't fit. So that is sometimes a problem when you buy secondhand models, but I mean, honestly, once you paint them, people normally don't notice, right? So, and you could kind of learn some tricks along the way to hide some of that stuff, which I've sort of learned here and there. I learned a lot actually in my Custodes army because it's secondhand and not put together particularly well. And yeah, once you get it painted, most people don't even notice. I do have a question. How should I decorate the base plate for the models? Do I even need to? Like the base itself? So for example, this base I made to look like an album artwork cover. So this is just some branches, some dried branches that I got from my yard. And some rocks and stuff like that. And then I put this stuff on. Vallejo Environment, and this one is crushed grass. And it's pretty cool because it has like flock in it. So it's paint, like a pasty paint with flock in it so that it looks like grass. And then I just painted it all black, let it dry, and then I made a wash with Fenrisian gray, and then I just sort of washed it like inside. I don't know if you can see because it won't autofocus, but there's a skull here, and I put it like inside the eyes to make it look like it's all sort of glowing from underneath. So like it doesn't have to be super crazy. My guard stuff I do really simple with just like a texture paint and then a wash and a dry brush. Just because I have like a million models and I don't want to spend that much time on them. So you could just do that. My orcs are a little bit different. Let's see how this guy is. So my orcs are done with like junk bases. So I take, here, this is a good example. So like I have just a box of random stuff that I've sort of saved off sprues and stuff, and so I will glue that stuff down, and then I'll take a texture paint and then I'll slap that on, and then I'll put tufts on. Well, I slap the texture paint down, and then I just paint these bits black, dry brush silver, wash with Agrax, and then I dry brush with Troll Slayer orange. And then I just go through and I'll paint and dry brush the texture paint around it. And that's basically it. So that's their bases there. I do something different for my Custodes. So they're kind of like in an autumn theme. They have a bunch of rocks. They've got, you know, a bunch of different tufts. And then I have this cool foliage stuff. Secret weapon? No, Gale Force 9 is what this is. So that's what I do on them. I like them all to be like a little bit different. Some armies I think are more worth doing like fancy bases than others. Like doing 90 guardsmen with fancy bases just didn't really seem to make sense to me. I get so much secondhand. Tom, you have a secondhand store around you. That's so cool. Hey Keith, how's it going? I remember building a bunch of those ogres, and you're 100% right. Those ogre shoulders were one of the earlier digitally designed models. Oh, interesting. And their backs were interesting. Yeah, like I've put together a few of them now, so I'm pretty good at putting them together. But yeah, whoever had these really struggled with it. Like I think, did I put this guy together? No, I don't think I put any of these guys together. And yeah, so I do okay with them, but you really have to like make sure that you clean the sprue bits off, and yeah, it's a bit tricky. I was gonna say the Indomitus has a lot of the models I need, but not all, though I guess it'd be nice to have extra stuff if I wanted to expand past combat patrol. Correct. It is nice to have options. Oh, thank you, Green Blood Crusade. I was going for desert theme. What would you say would look cool? Honestly, desert's pretty cool. Like, GW has the box of skulls, which could be cool in a desert. All sorts of different skulls, which you could paint like super dried out, like an ivory kind of color. And then honestly, like they have this texture paint that's super easy. This one here. Armageddon Dust, so you could just put this on the base, and then I would still wash it. I think it looks best with a wash. So you could do like a sepia wash on it even, or Agrax, and then you could just dry brush it once that's all dry. And then that will be super easy. A lot of it's on sprue still too. That's amazing. All right, folks, I am 30 minutes over my deadline, and I have to take my doggy for a walk. But, hey, we made the red match, and I got the base coat of that bronze on. So, I'm pretty happy with that. That went pretty good. And, like, he still looks pretty dark underneath, so that's pretty cool. Oh, I was going to do his helmet. I'm just going to throw that on first. And then I'll be off to walk the dog. So, see where it is here. I think I've added too much water to this paint, and I may have broken it. We'll see what I can do here. Maybe not. Hugs for Lucas. Lucas would love hugs. He's turning into such a snuggly boy. I was getting a little bit concerned there for a while, because he didn't seem to like snuggles, and that was going to be a very, very sad time for me personally, because puppy snuggles are the best. Okay, I'm going to shut this bottle that way so I don't get it all over my face again. But he's teething so bad today, the poor boy. I'm gonna get him some ice, I think. Poor little booger. Oh, also, I just saw the Nightbot bring it up. Our guests this week on Just Put Paint on It are Katie from Tabletop Tactics, aka Jinx, if you are a fan. And then we're going to have Hellstorm Mikey on Friday. So, some of my favorite people. This will be a fun week for sure. Mikey's always a blast, and Katie's like Miss Sassy Pants. So, I'm sure she's going to give us I say a quote hard time, but really she's a treat. So I can't wait. It's going to be a good week. Also, we have like a really big guest who's going to be on our finale for the season, which I just found out today that person's going to be on. So I'm so excited. And before you ask, no, it's not that Superman guy. I don't even know his name. What's his name? Why can't I remember his name? He's everywhere on social media. This is how well I am with like celebrities and stuff. You know, the Superman guy? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's not him, so sorry if that's a disappointment, but it's somebody who is very sweet, very kind, and probably taught you how to paint, honestly. Oh no! I'll have to do some touch-ups on... Oh, maybe not. Nope, we're good. We're good. I caught it in time. Yay! Okay. One last peek, but that looks pretty good. I don't know, like as soon as you put the brass on and it sort of like starts coming together, it just looks so good. Henry Cavill, thank you. Thank you so much. Why I couldn't remember, I don't know. I was gonna say I'm thinking about getting Ardcoat. That's the glossy. Yes, it's glossy. For my Canoptic models, like the Wraiths and Scarabs on their glowy bits. Yeah, Ardcoat is really great. I like it for like lenses and stuff when you really want it to look shiny. And it's the same stuff that's in like Blood for the Blood God. So if you want something that's like red and shiny, you can actually use Blood for the Blood God too. And you want to do that after you seal it. If you use a sealant on your models, because sometimes it makes it less shiny when you spray a varnish on them after you've put the Ardcoat on. All right, folks, I'm really happy with how that turned out. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to go take Lucas for a walk. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for turning my frown upside down and making me feel a lot better, because I felt like that stream was going downhill real fast. But you guys saved it for me, so thank you so much for being so kind and understanding and letting me vent a little bit about my identity crisis, which I'm still recovering from. And yeah, I think next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. Next week it'll be like, so next episode it's everybody in my family's birthday next week, essentially. So I might not have a lot of time to prep anything. So I might just keep working on this guy, or I might go ahead and work on those ogres a little bit on stream. We'll have to see how much time I have to come up with something. If the Stormcast may get in the mail from Tom, then I will put those together. We'll work on that on stream instead, because I think that'll be really fun. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for sticking around with me and watching me paint red. And I love you all. And I'll see you next Monday. Bye, everybody.